1.7,
Mm-hmm.
and H.R. Crawford was on the city
Yeah,
council
I had to go out to William
for 7.
because I got a complaint that she was having the kids endorse the checks, giving them to her,
And
and the other boy too, and
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 we gave them all in brand new typewriters.
yeah, but so I said, Hardy, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't have them endorse the checks to you, and you go get them cash. I said, you can't do that. I have to put you in jail if you keep that up. And she had a lot of typewriters and stuff.
Typewriters, we put them in there that Friday, went out there that Monday,
They gone.
they were gone.
Yeah, it was the boys up there, Bob King.
Bob King at 14th
He was taking the kids
across the bank to cash
bank
all
said
the checks.
the bank
He can get
won't
kickback.
won't cash them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14th and Columbia Road. I forgot one. Nadine Withers, Hospitality House.
Yeah, she had a store out there,
Yeah, right in right.
filling it up
Yeah.
with my stuff and selling it to the people.
What?
All of them came through the neighborhood planning
Wow.
council before
Wow.
they went to the city council.
Never heard that.
But they don't know the history of the city.
Willie had a little place there on Sheriff Road,
Yeah. Well, they had-
right on the right hand side.
Well, what was the Quonset hut? You had it
Huh?
49th and Dean Avenue?
She was
was a
at
Quonset
44th
hut.
and Sheriff Road.
The Sheriff Road.
That's
As
what
you
she-
go around, when you go on the viaduct,
Yeah.
make a left, go up.
Yeah. But wasn't she at
Right
49th?
Huh?
Wasn't she at 49th
No,
near the
44.
end?
44. She was close to the viaduct.
Okay.
44.
Yeah. I bet you don't even remember. You supposed to be a watcher. I'll bet you, what was that, the viaduct down there, just before you go under the bridge? You know the viaduct, you go there?
Oh, for Dean Avenue? Danny Hellenberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
It was a store there. It was a store sitting on the right side.
Where the gas station is?
No gas station. You know, it's all built up now. But if you're going down and make a right to go to Nanneberg Road, Harvard,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
right there on the right-hand side was a store, and it was the only store really in the whole area. But
I didn't know
I'll tell
that.
you what we did. They had a pinball machine in there. I've always done some crazy stuff. So we took a corkscrew and put a little hole in the side, and took a coat hanger, and you could hit one thing, ding, 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 ding. Just we play all day for one nickel, cause we hit that thing, ding, 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 ding. Anybody come, we stop, ding, 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 ding. Then we take it out and plug it up with chewing gum. We play one nickel. We play all day.
You mean at the, where the Marvin Gaye Park begins? Is that where the store was?
Way up.
No, that's way out.
Gate,
The store. You know where the viaduct is, right?
Minnesota and
Yeah. Well, the store where that big bridge is there, the store was on this side.
on your side.
Yeah, on the east, Benning Roads, whatever the road.
Okay, okay.
It was on that
Parkside
side.
and all that.
But
I don't remember
I
that.
bet very few people in here remember that Mayfair had a huge shopping center out there. Mayfair, you know where this church is up there in the corner there? Albert Cassell and his father, they built a shopping center with a grocery store equal to, it wasn't as big as Giant, but it was a replica. There was this grocery store, the cleaners that I worked in, Sanders, the barber shop. Up top was Albert Cassell's architectural office. And that was a little shopping center in Mayfair at the time.
In Mayfair?
Yeah, a shopping center. You know where the church is now?
Yeah.
On that corner of Hayes Street?
Hayes, yeah.
Hayes.
Yeah.
That was a shopping center built by Albert Cassell. And he had a cleaners, a grocery store, a barber shop, his architectural office up top. And it was, it was really rolling. We lived in Mayfair before Hayes Street was even built. See, J Street was built first because it's an old racetrack down there. If you it's an old, if you go down J Street, I don't know what's down there now. But if you went to the end row of buildings at the time, it was an old racetrack, horse racetrack, that place was built on, all around there. And we were there before J Street was even built. And
You need to write a book, man.
a lot.
Well, did Michelle, Ella Michelle?
No, he did the ones on 7th Street. Walter gave him the money. I think $80,000 to do those on 7th Street.
Because at that time in Suburban Garden, the only ones living in Suburban Garden was doctors, lawyers,
Yeah,
and teachers.
Suburban Gardens. Yeah.
Same thing with Parkside. I mean, not Parkside, Park Lane. At first, professional people were in there.
I take some, you know, you do some crooked stuff and come back to you. Me and Dan Grady used to the wood stoves in Parkside, wood stove. So me and Dan Grady would get these bushel baskets and pick up all the wood we could. But let me tell you, I'm embarrassed when I talk about it. We stacked it with a false bottom and piled the wood on top.
Jimmy.
And so we had a technique for dumping. Well, we dumped one time and the cross sticks didn't come out. And the lady said, we were sawing it didn't look like a fill basket. She was so nice. It didn't look like. Oh, we said, oh, they got stuck. We gave her a whole new basket. Then we would pick up. We'd pick up coal off the railroad track, and had these potato sacks. You know, these little potato sacks. Well, we put some rocks in it. And we went back, because it was wood stove, we went back and the lady said, well, it looks like there was some rocks in here. Did y'all make a mistake? The people were so nice. We said, oh, we might have. Here's a new man. Oh, boy, but we got, my first bicycle came off the dump. So the dumps were over on the other side of Eastern Garden. And we go over there, and I got all the parts, the main parts. Then we go to Pep Boy and got the tires and stuff like that. So my first bicycle came off of.
That's what they used to burn on the dump over there.
Yeah, they used to burn all the stuff
All outside.
outside Eastern Garden. No, I used to do windows and Mayfair and floor. I had so much money. On a Saturday, I could do 2 sets of windows and a floor. And I got $8 for the windows, and I think maybe $7 for the floors. And I could do at least 2, sometimes 3. I had more money. Cause everybody, you didn't come to ask your father for some money. I'm like a fool. He's working at the post office. Can I have some? You wouldn't do that. You go hustle your money, and then you bring some food home sometimes. I used to bring some food home sometimes, and it was. I wouldn't trade any of that stuff that I did.
Well, Doc, you know now, when we look at all our churches, they only open 1 day a week. When we had the neighborhood planning council, in those churches they had tutoring programs.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
We had leadership training programs in there. They had sewing programs in there. We had a program at the OYWCA
on
at
12th Street,
9th and U.
9th and U.
And we had a typing program. And we had young ladies in there taking the civil service test, passing it at 14 years of age, but they couldn't get a job.
Couldn't get a job.
They were
But
too young.
then we start. What was that thing that.
Then we had go-kart.